Nadu is a flexible and powerful card that can slot into a variety of different blue decks. Today, we're going to pair it with Trinket Mage in a Tinker Shell. Welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to the second part of our Wednesday night donation decklist stream. I have a sweet brew here that I put together today. Luis Paul asked me to put together a Nadu Urza deck. Well, I asked if that was a good idea, and he was very excited about it, so I'm down. So what I have here is a different version of Nadu than the previously played ones. This is more of a bug tinker deck that's splashing Nadu. This is a very modern style thing where everyone in modern right now is trying to splash Nadu. Nadu is a very splashable card, and Urza Saga and Trinket Mage give us a lot of ways to find the one Shuko, and we don't have to play a bunch of bad Shukos in our deck, which is pretty nice. I'm thinking about it now. I almost want an Oko in this deck. I got to think about that for a second while I explain what we're doing here. This is just a classic Lorien Revealed Urza Saga Tinker Shell. That gets to play a few extra goodies to support Nadu. So while we do have Tinker for Volt Key and Bolas' Citadel, we also have the Shuko, which we can find off the Saga, and the Tinker, and we're going to play some Trinket Mages, which find all of our artifacts at 0 and 1, including Shuko. And also is a creature for the Shuko and the Nadu. So we have lots of ways between Urza Saga and Vampiric and Demonic and Tinker and Mystical Tutor for Tinker to find our stuff. We are going to play this in, pretty much restricted blue-black shell. We're going to add on some Urzas, which can make some extra creatures and utilize artifacts. And then we're going to play a little bit of a Merchant Scroll package with Repeal and Paradoxical Outcome and Hurkyl's Recall. I do think we're moving back into a metagame where Hurkyl's Recall in the main of your Tinker decks makes sense. And because we're playing green, we get the additional versatility here of Haywire Might, which we can find off of our Urza Saga or a Trinket Mage. A big fan of Haywire Might in Vintage. So I might put an Oko in this deck. I'm just seeing where to put the Oko. And then we'll get going. Sideboard is pretty straightforward. Anti-combo in the form of anti-Jewel cards, anti-Doomsday cards, another Hurkyl's, Leyline for Bazaar. We got Sphinx for Bazaar and creatures, Portal for creatures, and Lantern, Needle, and Tabernacle for more Bazaar answers. Maybe we can go down to 3 Nadus. Or do we want to play all 4 Nadus? I don't know. Not sure. I just feel like it'd be nice to have the catch-all answer of an Urza, an Oko in the deck, but it doesn't seem necessary. I think I'm gonna just trim 1 Nadu here. It is a legendary creature, but we have a lot of ways to find the Shuko. I think we should be pretty well suited to do Shukoing things, but you're right. We don't have like a combo kill or anything, so I'm gonna bring 1 Oko in here, and that'll be the change. And we will see you in round 1. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content? Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. Okay, welcome to round 1 of this Vintage League with Nadu in a Urza Saga Tinker Shell. I have Saga Gaming the hand. I keep. Thankfully, Lorien Revealed solves all. And I have a beautiful Lorien Revealed for a blue source. I, of course, have drawn my Shuko. Let's go find one of them tropical islands. Guess I gotta be careful. I only have 2 in my deck, but I could always Trinket Mage for a green source. I don't need to do anything after. I'll play around Negation and Ancestral my opponent's upkeep here. Unless my opponent like mental missteps this, in which case I'll ancestral in response, see if we can drum our own mental misstep. Let me change the stream title. Done. Okay. I'm going to go to your turn. Hopefully we don't get vigored. No. On your upkeep, I cast Ancestral Recall to play around Force of Negation. Resolved. I drew the Tinker, but I also drew my Bolas's Citadel. That's a classic. F6 for value. I can always get my Black Lotus with my Trinket Mage, so that's something. Island. Go. Okay. I don't really have other Tinker targets besides Vault Key, but not terrible with all the sagas that I have in hand. I kind of like Saga, Trinket Mage, Black Lotus. Whoa, shiny. Yeah. And I guess it's better to play this than not play it. And I will equip Shuko to Trinket Mage. And then next turn I have Hardcast Citadel. If I live, maybe my opponent will Doomsday kill me here. Nope, Forbidden Orchard. Okay, Oath. Can't really stop that from happening. Could be a problem. I'd love to draw a Force to back up my Citadel, or even just a Nadu. Merchant Scroll. So that is a Force. That actually works, right? So I can go Merchant for Force, play a land, and play it. I lose my land drop for turn, but it seems correct. Let's go Merchant for Force. And then play a land. And Hardcast Citadel. Damn, we are Tinker Gaming for sure. And then they have Force. And we have Force. Do they have 2 Forces? No. All right. So now will the top of our library be kind to us? Yes, our top of our library was very kind to us. There's a Nadu. That's got to be really good with a Bolas's Citadel. All right. Trigger Nadu. Puts that in play. Does that. Cast Brainstorm. Put 2 lands back on top. Trigger. Trigger. Cast Urza. Trigger. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, okay. Okay. That is a screenshot if I've ever seen one. That is a beautiful little. Oh, that's good. That's a great way to start us off here. Okay, so my opponent is on Oath. Do I have anything really for Oath? I have got some negations. Those will help. And some flusters. Those seem pretty good. I have the main deck Haywire. Did I throw this game? Could I have gone Trinket Mage for Haywire? Probably not. I think I got the Black Lotus before they played the Oath, right? All right, Hercules is gone. Still like this, still like this, still like this. I'd like all of these. I definitely like Oko. Don't feel like we need a needle. Definitely don't need an island. And what is the other card we don't want? Maybe Mental Misstep. Mental Misstep's not very good against my opponent's deck. Let's try that. That was a nice way to start this league. I like that a lot. All right, what do we have here? We have a negation. That's about all we can ask for. We don't really have much else. But think on the back of negation you keep, just because of the way the Oath and Tell deck works. It's very much an all-in combo deck. You are looking to have a force on turn 0. Now, if they have Show and Tell with an Atraxa and force backup on turn 0, it is what it is. This is why I kept, even though the hand was a little bit lackluster. Simply had to keep. All right, if I get Vigored here, it's not good for me, but that's never going to be good for me. They have an Oath. It's fine unless they have a... Oh, they have Wasteland in the deck. Very nice. That's very good here. Let's go get the Underground Sea. All right, well, now I really have not much going on. This is like the very prime spot where a deck that has Luris gets to really shine. Those are terrible Magic cards. Okay. All right, no follow-up from the opponent. So I drew a Citadel again. So next turn I can use Yogwill and just get back Saga as a Savine's Reclamation almost. Probably worthwhile. Though maybe I want to wait till I have Force backup. I like it. Let's do the small value Yogwill. I can't cycle this. It's not in my hand. Just in case. Yeah. So I got a Saga for 3 mana. Not the end of the world. Have technically a Black Lotus if my Saga completes, so I could cast the Citadel again. This might be one of the better decks at casting Citadel, all things considered. With with how many Trinket Mages I have. My opponent is at 8 cards. They haven't really had a land since Black Lotus, Wasteland, Boseiju, and they're off it. I was going to make Construct, get Black Lotus, cast Citadel with backup. Very, very easy win, so we'll take it. That's just recognizing the matchup, understanding that I have to keep a subpar hand because it has a force in it, and getting rewarded for doing so. All right, 1-0, on to round 2. On the play again, what do we got? We've got Tinker on turn 2 with no force. We also have Nadu, but we're missing a colorful piece of mana. Yeah, Narset is like a little bit a victim of the Urza Saga. You could play Narset in this deck. It wouldn't be bad, but there are actually a lot of creatures in this deck. Narset also just like doesn't really line up super well with like what other people are doing in the format a lot of the time. It's like a hard casting cost. I don't think Narset is bad or anything. So if I want to be able to play Nadu on turn 2, I want to lead with a fetch land, which does seem like something I'd be interested in doing. They are F6, which would be a good sign if I could play Tinker on turn 1, but the fact that I can't play Tinker on turn 1 makes this scary, because my opponent's going to drop something here that will possibly make it hard for me to continue. Let's see. Now, Nadu Shuko by itself, not the greatest. Just 2 activations every turn. I'll have to see if that's still going to be good for us. My opponent has Mana Crypt Tropical. That might mean they are also on Oath. So if my opponent's Show and Tell is here, we can at least put a Nadu into play and then look to do something on our turn. Blue, green. Is this an Oko? Turn off my Shuko? Ah, that could be good too. Yeah. All right. Ban Nadu. I don't know. It seems like people are pretty into that idea in Modern, so maybe you'll get your wish. So my opponent F6 through the first turn, and then I hit the Emerald, huh? So let's see if they're still F6. They're no longer F6'd. I don't know. I can actually un-elk my thing with a PO, which is pretty cool. I don't know what my plan is here, though. I have 3 good spells to play. I kind of like... I feel like my opponent should have a Force. So I'm trying to figure out which play is the best around Force. Feel like playing Nadu is the best, but then if they play a Show and Tell, I don't have something to put in. If I draw extra Moxen, PO is pretty good. Yeah. I just don't think that line is like that strong. I mean, Tinker Bolus is great, but Tinker Bolus is my most powerful choice. So if I think my opponent has a Force, I don't want to just run out Tinker Bolus. Right? Now, if my opponent doesn't have a Force and that read is wrong, then that's a problem, but... Okay, well... I don't think they have a Force. And I did draw a Needle for the Oko. I think we're in a good spot. If my opponent Show and Tell is an Atraxa, we put it in a Nadu, and then we untap with Shuko, Nadu, Saga, and a Tinker. And we still have an active Saga. There's an Orchard. Green. Green's a good sign. Or Oath is totally okay with us here. Sweet. So now I'm just interested. Oh, what is this? Demonic for Force? So now I think we need to bait the Force with a Nadu. And then we can Tinker. Also, people keep giving us spirit tokens to use for Nadu Shuko, which I think is quite funny. I mean, if they have a blue card in their hand, this should be a pretty easy go for Force. If they don't have a blue card in their hand, then it's a lot harder for them to choose. Oh yeah, we only have 1 blue mana. True. That's a bad thing. I mean, they're tanking forever on this Demonic, which means they probably don't have another blue card. So it means they're probably not going for Force. Well, they can't cast this Time Walk. They've already played an Orchard this turn, so... I think my opponent might be in a spot where they can't get any valid play on this turn, so they're just going to find the best card for next turn. So maybe you're right. Time Walk is probably a good one. Beseiju is a pretty good one. If they had a Vigor and a green card, that would be a pretty good one. If they have a card in hand, they can get Black Lotus, Gataxium Probe. So they had a blue card? Or are they just did they just Demonic for Probe? If they had they must have Demonic for Probe, right? Because if they had Probe in their hand, they would have gotten a Force. That's very odd. I don't think that makes any sense. I would rather just demonic for a better card. Unless they have force blue card in their hand and they want to figure out what they're supposed to counter. Yogwill is really good if I had enough mana for it. All right, well, I don't really have backup here, so I'm just supposed to Tinker a Citadel. It's kind of the only thing I have going for me, right? Yep, they just have Force. Okay. That went really badly. So now I have to beat a Resolved Atraxa. Could be challenging. But I do have Yogwill plus Nadu next turn, so it might still be doable. Let's get this Oko off the table so that nothing bad happens in that category. Oko is one of their primary forms of interaction. So the question is, did they just draw it for turn, or did they demonic for it, or... It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Maybe they just had it and they didn't counter PO. That could be possible. All right, my opponent has hit the Atraxa. Atraxa starts at Black Lotus. All the way to Show and Tell Flusterstorm. Isn't that 11 cards? Whatever. Oh, no. Okay. This is the 10 card. So they have a Null Rod in the main. That is terrible for me. So they must be playing the Brian Koval deck. All right, I think we just are going to lose to straight up lose to Null Rod here. They hit Force, Null Rod, Tinker. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be one of the best Atraxas I've ever seen. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, we're dead. Force, Null Rod, Time Walk. Oh, they have Time Walk on this too? Where I must have clicked by it. They took Force, Null Rod, Time Walk. I almost think they're supposed to take Tinker, so I guess Time Walk does the same thing. All right, so the real question is, were we just supposed to Tinker, and did they have a Force on our second turn of the game? Maybe, maybe not. But we're not winning here. My opponent just casts Null Rod and we lose. Yeah, if it wasn't Null Rod, then we probably have some game. But Null Rod is so bad. I guess we have a Tolarian Academy we can draw to. Tolarian Academy would still be winning, so maybe... Well, not winning because they have a Force. So, never mind. So, if they take 3... No, that doesn't do it either. Damn. Yeah, I guess I had to dodge Null Rod. It was a little unfortunate that RPO for 3, which was, I still think, the best call, drew us 3 artifacts and lands, right? It drew us Mana Crypt, Needle, +1. When it could have drawn us blue cards and forces and good cards. I feel like if you would always force a PO for 3 there, but maybe they were just... Well, you can't really expect an on-color Moxen or anything like that. Mystical Tutor. Wait, did they just put out another Atraxa? It's kind of a bold play. 15 cards left in library. Yeah, they just put a Force on the top. Yeah, I don't think Nadu is super good in Vintage or anything, but it's certainly a playable card. It's blue. It attacks. It has value engines attached to it. It doesn't really hurt to play one Shuko in your list when you have 4 Sagas and stuff already. I think Nadu's fine. Mystical Tutor of our own. Not exactly a good one. Yeah, so I have a 7/7, but that's not enough to get in and hit them because they hit the time walk. If they hadn't hit the time walk, they would be at 10. I would be attacking with a 7/7. They would go to, if they didn't block, they would actually go to 3. I guess I still did just block, so. I don't really think it's I wouldn't criticize WotC for printing it. I think it's fine. It's okay to have good cards sometimes. All right, so Oath again. Let's just bring in Negations and Flusterstorms. I like playing with fun, broken cards. Not a problem here. Maybe I bring in this Portal. I think Portal's so bad, though. Take out the Island, take out the Needle, take out the Hercules. What was the other one? What was the other card we're taking out? Oh, Mental Misstep. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would much rather they printed strong cards, so. I like high power sets, formats and sets, obviously, since we're playing Vintage, but I don't know. I don't really feel like it's a big deal. Like, sure, maybe it's broken in Modern. Maybe it needs to be banned. Is that a big deal? Just, it's around for a couple tournaments, does some cool things. Play it if you want. Don't play it if you don't want, and then move on. Gets banned, doesn't get banned. Obviously, there's like a money aspect, right? And if you're playing a Pro Tour, you need to buy a new deck. But that's, I mean, it's a Pro Tour. You're supposed to play the best deck and costs associated with that. I don't feel like that's a big deal. Like, you don't need to play Nadu to have success in Modern right now. If you were playing in like a local event, you can play a variety of different decks. So I don't feel like it's like, oh no, I have to buy all these cards because it's so broken. Like, that's not really the case. It's almost never the case. Like, Hogak is one of the few times where that was like the only thing you could do, right? All right, this hand has some magic cards. I'm down. I like this hand a lot. Turn 1 Might. Has Force. Can go get Ancestral. Have good answers. Yeah, but like Hogak's a much better deck than Nadu, and also it like warped the field to beat Hogak. Had to warp the field to beat Hogak, whereas Nadu is like a more value oriented, resilient deck. I don't really feel like Nadu having a higher win percentage at APT is like a super relevant talking point in the comparison. It's certainly part of it, but. We are currently 1-0. Oh, wait. Maybe the MTGO bot does work and I'm just on the wrong thing. No, it's not. It just doesn't work. Okay, never mind. I was like, maybe it's set to the other one. All right, I like Mystical for Ancestral here. And then Ancestral on my opponent's turn. I need a quantity of cards, right? I need to get more artifacts in play so that my Tolarian Academy and my Urza get going. So Ancestral makes a lot of sense to me here. And also I can play on their turn where they're, it's hard for them to use their spells. Okay, I will respond to your fetch. That's fine. If they have a negation, they have a negation. I'm not super worried about that. I'm more worried about Flusterstorm. Force backup. Pitching show and tell. So this one's a little bit trickier because I really need more cards. I feel like I have to force back on this one. I'm going to keep Urza. It's a little bit better than Oko if they were to do something else. And kind of fits our game plan a little bit better. Time Walk, Saga, Urza. Okay. Certainly interesting. I mean, if my opponent untaps and then like they also have some kind of strong play, then that's unfortunate. But if they did, I feel like they would rather have the force not counter my ancestral and then just have force to protect their spell. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Null Rod. All right, rest in peace, little Haywire Mite. You tried your best. But I have Time Walk and I have Saga and I have Urza, which is pretty good against Null Rod. Do I feel like the One Ring is powerful enough to see play in Vintage? There is a single One Ring deck in Vintage. It is one of the more powerful decks. It is called a Coveted Jewel Workshop combo deck. There are a variety of people trying different ring decks, but none of them have really stuck. I wouldn't say like the Jewel deck is a dedicated One Ring deck, but it's the best at using it for sure. All right, so I have the very powerful Urza Saga Time Walk combination here. One Ring, I think, is a very appropriate power level for Vintage. There's a lot of things that deal with artifacts, activated abilities. People play main deck Null Rod. People play main deck Pithing Needle. So the One Ring is very answerable and is often answerable in the main. So I don't really have a problem with the One Ring being in the format. If I make a construct here, I will have 2 mana off my Academy. I feel like I need to make a construct here rather than... I guess Urza is a construct in and of itself. So maybe it's better to just play my land and cast an Urza now. I mean, Vintage is home to a lot of cards that were deemed unfair in other formats, right? So I think that Oko is a really fair card in Vintage. The One Ring is totally reasonable in Vintage. So I really like the power level of Oko for Vintage. It's very, very appropriate. So now we're in trouble. If my opponent plays an Oath, I can't use my Haywire Mite. We are going to start accelerating this game pretty quickly with a construct token into a Saga turned on, and the game is going to... My opponent is on a clock here. I still don't feel like they have Show and Tell Atraxa, or they wouldn't have forced my Ancestral, but maybe they drew it. Oko. Okay. Annoying. I get rid of my Oko, and my Oko actually would have been a little bit better. Turning off my Urza. All right, well, the good news is their Oko just dies. The bad news is I no longer can make mana with my construct things. I drew another Mox. So not great, but not the end of the world, because we do have this Tolarian Academy, and we can make some extra mana into a Lorien Revealed. I will just get a key out of my deck. And then I'll play a Pearl. And then I'll play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll cast Lorien Revealed. And then I'll play a land. And then I'll attack. This one can kill Oko, and this can attack my opponent. I'm not going to play around Vigor here. If they have Vigor, they have Vigor. Opponent is has lethal on the table here, so Oath no longer does it. I have, again, next turn, another draw, 1,000,000. So needs to be Show and Tell Atraxa. Oath is too slow, unless they have Oath plus Vigor. Oath plus Vigor would do it. I guess what we do is we cast Lorien to try to find a force. And then I have PO up right now. None of that really does anything. So I guess I just brainstorm. None of that really does anything either. I have a Time Walk in my yard, but I don't have enough mana. So we just attack and see if it works. That were hyped. Vexing Bauble was the most hyped, but I think the best card in Modern Horizons is actually Psychic Frog. Steel Sabotage. That doesn't... Oh my god, does that put them to 1? Oh no. Wow. Why don't I have enough mana? Because Yogwell Time Walk costs 5? Oh, I could have... And I used the floating mana for Brainstorm, right? So I don't have enough mana. So now they're at 1 and they're gonna get an Urza. Man, did I really throw this? I cannot use Urza for blue as Urza is an elk. It got Okoed. Well, I guess I am just going to PO. I guess I could have picked up this Urza at some point. Why did we not play Urza Saga? Well, picking up something with PO wasn't going to help me, so playing an Urza Saga didn't really matter. Like, it would hurt me, it would deal less damage, you know? Maybe we should just held the Urza Saga in hand and tinkered. That might have been better as well. I shouldn't have talked to chat as much as I was doing. My bad. Yeah, that's my fault. I should have not played the Urza Saga. Like I said, I was going to not play the Urza Saga and then tinkered for Citadel and not use my land drop. My fault. You need 10 cards in play to dome them. Which seems ambitious. I just bricked off on a Flusterstorm immediately. All right, well, I have Force and Fluster, and then... Oh, I can't activate my thing because there's a Null Rod. Wait, so how am I going to win? I just need to get a large enough attacking token and then Yogwill Time Walk. Or I can find an answer to Null Rod. Do I have an answer to Null Rod? I don't know if I have an answer to Null Rod. We could PO the attacker. True. That would work as well. That would work as well. All right, my opponent... why doesn't it only show 10? Oh, here it is, 10 cards. So they have a Thoughtseize and a Time Walk and... Okay, Thoughtseize... I guess they can't cast Thoughtseize because they're at 1. But they have Time Walk, but we have Force Fluster. So we should be fine. We should be fine. Oh, they have their own Force. They took Strip Mine, Force, Null Rod, Walk. But we're going to win with our stuff. So I force this... They force back. They can't force back because they're at 1 again. Okay. Yeah. So we're good. Paper only play. They get to hit the Tolarian Academy, but we'll still have enough mana to PO. So it looks like we're fine. They have a follow-up play. Is it just Null Rod? Don't think that matters. Kind of a weird game. I think I likely played this game badly. There was likely a way I could have played around Steel Sabotage as an out, and I didn't. So it's on me. But yeah, back to what someone was saying. Modern Horizons 3, Psychic Frog is really good, and Sink into Stupor is really good, and Vexing Bauble is okay. Those are the big ones. I feel like there's room for some of the Eldrazi to be good. Yeah. Okay, so my opponent is now dead here because I have PO with Flusterstorm backup. So I attack all, and I use the blocking trick. And we're good. Necro is good? No, Necro is not good. Though Disenchanting Witch is good in Vintage because there's a mono-white initiative deck. Oh, right. PO can't pick up tokens. So I can just attack with just these two. Damn. Chat's all about it today. I think I'm almost ready for bed because I am not picking up these things immediately. I can pick up these two, though, so it's okay. I feel like my opponent would block the construct, so it is important. I don't know. The Eldrazi deck seems okay, but yeah, I don't know. Also, I think the other Eldrazi looks pretty reasonable. The one that you can play it in like workshop combo. Classic Haywire might attack and kill you. Yeah, I wasn't really. I mean, my opponent can't cast any counter spells. I guess they could technically have negation, but we saw all the cards they really drew, and we had a Flusterstorm backup, so I didn't really think about too much stuff there. They were tapped out, so we couldn't get our Haywire might Besaged. Lots of options. Ah, man, Haywire might be one of my favorite cards. Card is just sweet. All right, I'm gonna try to focus less on chat and more on playing good Magic because I feel like I've missed some things here. It'll be interesting for the Creator Showdown because last time it was a 3-minute delay, which kind of ruined the streaming aspect of it. Now if they remove the 3-minute delay, it's just going to be no chat backseating. So I'll basically just play with chat off, which will be pretty fun because then I don't lose the the live aspect of it. Force. I feel like I don't need to force this oath because I have a Haywire might, right? Yeah, basically everybody wanted that that to be fixed. I can't really play and activate this might right now, so I'm just not gonna do that. I'll leave open double force. Lots of people, basically all the MTGO creators. There'll be like 64 streams running. It'll be fun. Thoughtseize. Ugh. What do we do about that? That's certainly a problem if they take my Haywire might and then play an Orchard. I'm not really willing to force this, though. I have other plans. I can Mystical for something. So I'm going to let this happen and see what they do. I have quite a few options with this Mystical as well, so... If I want, I could go Mystical for Tinker, play a Haywire Might, Tinker a Citadel. Don't know if that's something I'm interested in doing. My opponent has 3 cards left in hand, so it might be. But that also means if they take Haywire Might, I don't have that line. They took Time Vault. Huh? 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 Oh, I modded them. Whoops. Why does the mod button look like the ban button? Oh, whoa. Strip mine. Strip mine is a problem. Strip mine is a problem. That's a huge problem. Oh. Now we don't have any good Mysticals because I can't Mystical for Tinker at this current board state. I can Mystical for Ancestral, and that might still be correct, but then I lose out on some amount of play here. I still think I'm going to Mystical. Like, waiting here doesn't really get me anywhere good, does it? I believe it doesn't. Oh, I have a Yogwill. What if I just go get a Yogwill on top, crack Black Lotus, and replay my Lotus and my C? And then replay Mystical for Tinker. I don't know if that's good, but I'm doing it for sure. I don't really know if this play is good, but I really wanted to make it, so I'm gonna make the same exact thing. I'm gonna just all right. I hope I don't get wastelanded or something. There's no way that play was good. Was that play good? The play was sweet. That's what that play was. Now my opponent's gonna play Wasteland, and I'm gonna look silly. Ooh. Okay, all right, okay. Another Oath, sure. All right, they have one card, so this is working. This was kind of an awesome play. I love Yogwill. Yogwill seems a little underplayed still. Haywire Might. Tinker my Haywire Might. And then I have Force Backup. I can't play any creatures. Citadel. Time Walk, okay. PO for no targets. Haywire might gain me 2 life. Gotta love it. Is this like a Nature's Claim or Steel Sabotage, maybe? Is that what their last card is? It is. Exciting. I feel like they were just supposed to Steel Sabotage the Haywire might. It doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna force pitching Nadu. And then the question is, do I cast this PO for 4 life? Or do I want to just draw it as a blue card? Probably just pitch it for 4 life. No targets. Saga Gaming. I like Saga Gaming here. Oh, see, this is the problem. I don't think I can play this Urza. I feel like we're pretty likely to have to pass the turn. Also, we can't take infinite turns because we lost our Yogwill. Oh, also we lost our Time Walk. So how do we win? We do need to pass the turn. But I lost my Haywire Might. Uh-oh. I only have 1 repeal. So I have to play the Urza because I need to make a lethal attack this turn. Okay, so I am gonna have to play the Urza. Uh-oh. Maybe I was not supposed to use my Yogwill so willy-nilly. All right. No! Flusterstorm! I don't want to spin. I need to attack. No, I need to attack, chat. I can't spin. I guess I can play my land drop and spin. That's so bad, too. Ah, no, I don't want to. Oh, I can do Citadel. True. 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 Okay, I can spin still. Spin. No, fetch. Oh, I hit an Oko. Hello? Oko? Okay. Fetch land. Trinket Mage. I can get a Shuko with this. I can get a top with this. Get a Sensei's top. I can always Manifold Key my Citadel as well. Okay, fetch. Brainstorm. Put back. Nadu top. Wait, how do I get I can't get a Shuko, right? Oh, I could get a Shuko if I play my top. Hold on. I can make a food. A food is a mana. No. I want to put the Nadu on top and the top on top. I'm trying to find a Shuko somehow. So if I put the Trinket Mage for a Shuko, I can cast this Trinket Mage. So if I play a Nadu and I need to make one more mana. It's definitely Nadu and top on top. That's a given. But then how do I make it? Oh, I could tap the top for mana. But then I can't play the Shuko. I have 1 life left after this. So I guess I should go 1 deeper with this top and see if I hit a Moxen. But I kind of want to have force mana. But going off with Shuko and an untapped construct, is that enough? I know about the construct mana, chat. I know about the construct mana. Is it enough? Well, I guess we're going to find out together. All right. Tap. 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 Trinket Mage. Yes. Shuko. Play a Shuko. Start with this card. Oh my god, I hit a Tolarian Academy, chat. What does that do, though? All right, I'm just gonna... Don't talk to me anymore. They're off it! They conceded! Okay. All right, hold on. I'm thinking about how we win this game. I do think we win this game from this spot. I'm just thinking about how. I'm pretty sure we need to attack with a 17/17 construct, which is achievable. Because we have a manifold key, we can untap our token. I mean, I would let me play it out here, yeah. I think this is a win, though. I have 5 minutes to do it, though, and I only have... So I have 8 more Nadu activations. And I have 2 more Moxen. Hold on. So here I draw that. Oh, it's not going to work for me. So, like, the problem is I don't have a lot of different colors of mana, and I used my Yogwill. Because I used my Yogwill, I lose all of my redundancy. Like, I don't have a Time Walk. I don't have a Vault Key. Because you took my Time Vault, and I used my Yogwill, and I used my Time Walk, I actually don't have a lot of easy ways to win the game without passing the turn. And that to be fair, if I pass the turn, I might still just easily win the game, depending on what attracts a hits. And like how many cards I have. But I kind of wanted to play it just to see how it would go. But I don't know. It's probably like I have spins. It's probably a win. I would hope. Orisa can attack. True. Also, I have a PO in my deck. No, I don't have a PO in my deck. Oh, yeah, no, I have no combos in the deck. Well, I have Time Vault Key, which would have been very easy to win with if I had it, but... So, like, I used a bunch of things that would have prevented, would have stopped. Like, if I had, like, 2 repeals, like, if I had Haywire Might plus a repeal, then I can just hit both your oaths and it's fine. It's only because I did the weird Yogwill play where I put the Yogwill on top and used the Yogwill to rebuy everything. That's the only reason this is weird. I guess the second reason is because I hit Time Walk early on my Citadel, which means I couldn't, like, build up an army and then Time Walk. So there was just like a bunch of little weird things that happened. Cool game, though. Sweet. Okay, we're on to round 3 now. 2-0 so far for Nadu. This hand is a classic Lorien Revealed no mana. Let's put it back. This hand is a classic Bolus of Citadel in hand, both of my tutors. I'm just going to keep it. I don't feel like going lower than this is good. We got to get a little lucky here, but... Saga Gaming. I don't know. Maybe I'm just supposed to mulligan this hand because it's like all of my like worst card, not worst cards, but like you don't really want to have all of these cards in hand at the same time. Hello, opponent? Please stop. Are they just gonna play a One Ring? I don't really have good answers to a One Ring in my deck besides win the game. In Jewel Shops. My starting hand would have been better. Nadu. All right, well, I am going to die. I'm just dead, right? Like, I don't actually have any gameplay from this spot. Kind of needed to draw like a Black Lotus off the top. Mox off the top would have been nice, because then I could have played turn 1 Trinket Mage. Oh no, there is a Needle in the main. You're right. I did put a Needle in the main. The problem is they've already drawn 3 cards off their One Ring, and they have an active Saga. So even if I Demonic for a Needle, or even Trinket Mage for a Needle is pretty good, but it's just too late, right? They just like drew too many cards. Vexing Bauble, yeah. If you got it, you got it. Workshop Jewel, go off. I mean, this game is technically winnable still. We have a bunch of A-B combos. They have Workshop. They have Jewel. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I did. That's just a top tier Jewel hand, really. Turn 1, One Ring. Turn 2, Jewel. Could even have Force backup. Not really much to do about this unless I kept my hand with a Force. I'm just going to concede. I don't really feel like playing it out from here. Don't know how much value there is in doing that. I have some good cards to bring in. We've got Negations and Hercules and Trap. And then I like another Needle. And then I'm going to take out... What am I going to take out? Island. Mental Misstep. Maybe I want to keep Mental Misstep. I don't really want to keep Mental Misstep for Bobble. Probably don't even play 4 Bobbles anyways. Maybe I won't bring in second Hercules. Feels like a little bit much. Maybe I'll trim on Nadu and trim on Urza. Repeal is good. I like Repeal. All right, this hand has Force. I have Vamp. I think in this game, I like getting a Saga going and then trying to Vamp for Time Vault Key combo. I'm going to hold my Gataxian Probe as my first pitch spell, and then hopefully on the next turn, what we do is we draw another blue spell. So we end up with double Force, and then we just go for a Vault Key. Seems like a pretty reasonable path to victory. We didn't show any green last game, which is good. Opponent still doesn't know that's happening. So hopefully they don't have too many payoffs here, and we can just do double Force into a quick turn 3 kill. But my opponent's deck is a lot faster than turn 3, so... And they kept another 7. Hopefully less Moxen this time. We'll see. If I can get away with my opponent not casting a threat on turn 1, that would be great as well. They're in the tank. I don't feel that this deck is as well equipped to deal with Jewel as some of my other decks. Don't have Null Rods. Don't have as many counter spells. A lot of it is up to what you draw. All right, here comes Mox. Vexing Bobble. Jeez. I was kind of hoping that wasn't going to happen. Well, I'm going to negate this because I have this force that I'd like to cast, but a little unlucky. Yeah, I know, Log, you hate new cards. New cards are not allowed to be played in the format. I know. I don't know why you don't just play old school. You seem much more like an old school guy. Workshop. Monolith. Ring. Nothing. All right. I'd lean a blue card off the top, so I have force for the jewel on the next turn here. And then we'll be in good spot. That is not what we wanted. All right. I actually got super punished here. If I had used Force of Will instead of Force of Negation, I would have actually been able to hold up Hardcast Negation off of exactly Sapphire, which is not really something that I could have seen, but it was a 2 of, right? It was a Sapphire and a Lotus. Though I guess Lotus I could have hardcast Force of Will, so. New cards are fine, as long as they're not good. If they're good, I'm gonna be mad. I think we're gonna die here. My mistake, though. I'm the one who screwed this up. I should have pitched the other card. Yep. So it's not gonna be another jewel loss on stream. That is the most tilting. Ah, classic Tolarian Academy. We are not winning this game. Whatever. I mean, you're not going to convince me, Raphael. You're not going to convince me. Every card is obnoxious to you. What are we going to say? Man, I lost another game here. Needed to draw a blue card off the top of my library, but I didn't really have that many. I don't think Jewel is clapping cheeks. I think Jewel had a good week and then everyone adapted to it, but I can't tell you that because there's no data currently. But Jewel, people registered Jewel for NYC and they just got all destroyed. Like, the deck is not good if you try to beat it. Jewel's not whiffing here with a Tolarian Academy. Tolarian Academy solves, like, all the problems. It's probably one of the single best cards in the entire deck. But yeah, like I said, I was kind of banking on either. I mean, even if my opponent had, like, say they had turn one ring and not bobble, it's the same exact thing. I counter the one ring and then I didn't have a force for the second payoff. It's not like it was a weird thing that happened. I just didn't have another blue card for my force. It is what it is. On to round 4, where we are 2-1 now. Them the rules. This is an interesting hand. One. One, two, three. We're 1 mana short of Tinker here. I like this hand in general. Have a counterspell for their first play. Have a powerful play coming. Uh-oh. They mulliganed a little bit for this. They mulled to 5. green, blue, Oko on turn 1. I can probably get away with an Oko here. I'm much more interested in like having our Tinker resolve than battling this Oko. You see how Log came in the chat immediately went back to talking about ban and restrictions? That's what I'm trying to stop, chat. I want you to be here and you and me to enjoy playing Magic, not talking about ban and restrictions. Let's just play the game and have fun. Ah. Is it still worth it to go for Tinker, though? Not actually sure. I didn't start it. It was you being mad about new cards being printed. I don't know. I just feel like playing the game and talking about the actual game that's happening right now is more interesting than talking about theoretical ban restriction lists that don't matter. Wasteland? That's pretty good. Good thing I got Lorien revealed. So this is gonna mean I have to use my land. Oh, they're going for me. They're doing it. I like it. I like that play. Yeah, if we break, they can elk it. It's not good. That's why I was thinking maybe we didn't want to go for this line and go for something else instead, but I didn't really see something that I wanted to do. Hey, Nadu. Okay, well, I'm going to go for a Citadel and hope I don't brick. The Wasteland was a really big problem because before I had a Brainstorm and I had a Lorien reveal that could shuffle. That's a good one. Now I think we're golden. Let's brainstorm some spells back on top here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do that. Playing Oko. Playing Nadu. I guess we make a food. Or am I just needling Oko? I guess I'm just needling Oko. It's kind of funny. I should be holding priority here, but I'm not. Oko. I could have elked my own elk to get more stuff. Maybe I should have done that. Vampiric Tutor? I like that idea. Let's put a Shoko. I could have gone for Vault Key, but isn't this more fun? Swords to Plowshares. After all that. Ooh. Ooh. I'm having too much fun, chat. I kind of want this just to resolve so I gain some life. Whatever, the game is over. It's fine. Just gonna play a Yogwill. Tinker for Vault Key. Okay. So I was just gonna go Lotus Mana Crypt, tinker my Mana Crypt into Key and play Time Vault and take infinite turns. Seemed like the easiest way. Or I could cast the Tinker on top, the Mage on top, but then I'm out of mana. I don't know. All right, so my opponent is on a Bant with Oko. I don't really know what that means. What does Bant with Oko mean? Should I just like put a portal in my deck? Should have put a portal in my deck and hit submit. Nadu mirror? Maybe. Nadu has been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. This is kind of a nice little Nadu deck because it's not really all in on the nonsense. You just kind of have some extra bird value. Could be a different Oath deck, yeah. Could be a Brian Kelly Oath deck. Man, if I draw... I'm gonna keep this hand. This hand seems fine. I'm down. All right, let's keep. That's a good start. On color Oko again? Oh, that is a Nadu mirror. Okay. Am I forcing the Nadu in the Nadu mirror? Or do I just like let it sit and play and do nothing? I feel like sit and play and do nothing is the correct line. Gataxian probe. All right, show me your secrets. Nadu is fine. It's playable, but not great. Wasteland Force is their hand. I did not draw a very good magic card there. I'm a little worried to play this Mana Crypt out, but... I mean, it does nothing. It's a 3/4 flyer. That's not 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to draw some action, but I am in a good spot if I do. I have multiple forces. Maybe I'm not supposed to play out the Mana Crypt Time Vault there, but it opens me up to some good top decks. Uh-oh. Okay, that does it, right? I just go for a Tinker, and then I Tinker, and... doesn't win, actually. Maybe I just Tinker for a portal. What if I Tinker for a Black Lotus? If I Tinker for a Black Lotus, does that get me somewhere good? Was that deterministic or no? Tinker for a key does not win log. That's not how this game works. So if I Tinker for a Black Lotus and then I get 5 mana back and I Tinker for a key and win, right? I'm so smart. Tinker for a Black Lotus. Crack black for Yogwill. Black Lotus. Mana Crypt. Tinker for a key. Yo, Yogwill is gotta be the most underplayed card right now, huh? All right, GG's. GG's. All right, welcome to the 5th and final round of this Nadu Vintage League. We are 3-1, only losing to Jewel, but we did get handily destroyed by Jewel. My opponent kicked my butt. Ooh, that's a hand. I keep. This looks like a upkeep ancestral, and then if something bad happens, we can go Vamp, Lotus, Academy, Urza, maybe? I like that. 7 cards from the opponent, no Luris. All right, I cast Ancestral targeting me. How do you respond? Nothing. All right, now I have a Force backup. And I have a Probe to see what they're doing. Mox Jet. Underground Sea. Doomsday? Frog? Frog life. I'm gonna let this frog resolve. I have a flyer. All right. Do I want to vamp for something here? So I could vamp for a mana crypt. That wouldn't exactly get me there. I could only the only way I get an Urza in play is a Lotus. I'm just gonna draw naturally. I have Probe as well. Repeal. I guess I'm gonna be a little sad if I don't draw something. What about with Repeal? If I vamp for, no, it doesn't really do anything. It's a little unfortunate. Maybe I should have just vamped for a Lotus. Vamp for a Crip and Repeal the Frog for value. I'm down. I don't think that's the best line, but you know what? I'm down. I do want a Crypt because I want Academy and Urza and stuff to start happening. So it's not like I don't want that. All right, show me your secrets. Anything good in there? Bug Gamer, maybe? Oh, Rescaminator Gamer. Archon and Atraxa in hand. Funny. Very funny. Good thing this force looks fantastic. All right, throw that guy back in your hand for a second. And they pitched the Cruelty. And they kept the Atraxa. Okay. Yeah, different from my version. I didn't play an Archon in my version. It's going to be a Ponder with Lorien Revealed Shuffle ability. Nice. I'm not going to force a Frog. I have a lot of stuff still. Why didn't I have it? Because I didn't think it was good. Didn't feel like it was worth the slot. They drew Reanimate on Archon. Well, that's a good one. I'm going to pitch the Nadu. I don't have any green mana right now. Did they also draw Force? Because that would be a problem. It's a good card. I agree. It's a good card. There's a lot of good cards in Magic. Doesn't mean you play them all in your deck. Trinket Mage. Well, that wins the game, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 1 mana short. Damn. What if I go for like a PO or something? Like I could go Trinket Mage for... I could go Trinket Mage for Mana Vault and then play my Mana Vault and PO for 3, leaving me with a blue. That might do it, right? 1, 2, 3. Get a Mana Vault, play a Mana Vault. 1 blue floating, pick up 3 cards, replay this up to 1 blue and 2 minus 1 blue and 4. No, I'm still short. It's a pretty nice play. So what if I did Urza? I play Urza and I get 1 mana. This makes 2 mana. This goes down to 1 mana. I kind of want to do a bunch of pickup stuff because I can't win the game on this turn, and I'd like to have a counter spell in case my opponent reanimates again. Not sure though. Like maybe it's better for me to just play the cards out and present lethal and make my opponent beat it, but do I have anything better? What if I just get a key now? If I get a key now and I untap my mana vaults, it's still only gonna be, is it gonna be 4 mana? No, I'll be 1 mana short. Yeah, I mean, I think they should have pitched the Atraxa, but so the line is Mana Vault, play the Mana Vault, PO for 3. I still have so much mana after that. I'm just gonna do it. Let's just see what happens. It seems interesting to me. Like, I can still get a key, right? So, I don't know. Also, I can, like, get a Lotus, or I can get a Vault Key, you know? Just win the game. Did you guys think about just winning the game? How about just winning the game? And I have Force of Will. Never lucky, or maybe I played great. Did you ever consider that, Mr. Log T1? They're gonna make me race my mana vault here. Think we can do that. Oops, should have hosted it on a different site. It's gone forever. Let's go Trinket Mage for a Mox. I guess every Mox is going to be a Mox Sapphire. And a Shuko. And an Urza. All right, now I'm racing. All right, Trinket Mage, let's go. That was sweet. Was not deterministic, but it was a sweet line. What was my opponent playing? I forget. Oh, Reanimator. We saw at least 2 targets. I like Portal, and I like Leyline enough. And I like Flusterstorm. Haywire gone. Needle gone. Hercle's gone. Yeah, I guess Lantern's pretty good too. Could we have played Vault 2? I guess we could have. We would lose the 1 floating mana though, and we would gain 1 more card. I'm not sure that's better actually. I think the 1 floating blue mana is important there. So I don't think we would have wanted to play Vault. Doesn't sound like it unless I'm doing my math wrong, which could be. Could definitely be. Man, I don't know how to take out more cards in this. No, we did have enough mana to do that, but you lose your blue floating mana, which doesn't like means you can't replay your Trinket Mage and get like a Black Lotus or something, if that was a play that you wanted to make. Don't know. Feel like it limits some of your options, but it does give you 1 more card. Take out Nadu? I don't want to take out Nadu. You want me to take out Nadu? This is a Nadu stream. All right, we'll take out Nadu. Fine. You sold me. I kind of like the top deck tutors against Grief Reanimate, though. you get some sweet game plan. Like if your opponent like goes for grief reanimate and you just like mystical for an ancestral, it's pretty sick. But we are on the draw, so maybe they're enough worse that it's bad. We didn't draw one of our ley lines, so I kind of feel scammed here. I'm putting Nadu back in for game 3. You can't make me play ley line over it. We put a lot of Nadus in play. Nadu's won a legitimate number of games in this league. Tinker won more games, but that's just kind of how this works. Flusterstorm, top, force. I mean, I like this setup. We have a protected land into Tinker here. Yeah, if you hadn't suggested it, I wouldn't have done it. So it is your fault for sure. We can Black Lotus and play a ley line. All right. Well, I'm gonna just leave this floating on top in case we want it. I don't think we want it. I'd like to just go mystical for Tinker and then resolve Tinker. But if my opponent like griefs us here, then maybe we can't do that. Frog. Okay. So I just need to beat. The only thing I lose to is double force. I guess we could draw this Black Lotus and then mystical off the Black Lotus, but then we lose out on our top, but we guarantee our spell resolves. Is that worth it? I guess we get to keep the fetch land as well. So maybe we should just do that. I kind of feel like it was worse, but it's fine. There's a lot of good in this line as well, so. All right, I'm going to cast Mystical Tutor. I am going to Mystical Tutor for the Tinker card. I am going to draw the Tinker card with my Sensei's Top. I am going to Tinker off of my Mana Crypt with the mana floating, leaving 1 mana open to Flusterstorm. They had a force. I would rather use my Flusterstorm than my force. Now, if they have a second force, I will feel really, really smart about what I just did. And if they don't, I still feel pretty good, so. Should I portal the frog? Just portal the 1 frog? Maybe I cast the portal off the Bolas of Citadel. Ooh, I immediately drew a Flusterstorm on top. That is not what we wanted to see. Let's fetch that away. Or an Underground Sea. Saga Gaming. And then Mental Misstep. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Citadel, you betrayed me. We were doing so well. We were having such a good time together. Uh-oh. This is the first time Citadel's betrayed me all night. We were having a great time. We were just playing Magic, winning games. Nope. Wait. Can we just let this happen? Because they draw it off of their frog, and then we just counter whatever they play. Nah, screw this shit. You don't get that. Damn it. That went worse. Do you ever play the Surveil duels in Vintage, or is it simply too fast? I like the Surveil duel in Doomsday. I think they're probably underplayed, but not by very much. Hey, look, a Surveil duel. I think they're underplayed, but not by too much. It is certainly a cost to play a tap land in your deck. They put card on top. That's not good. But I do think they're powerful. So, like, I like it in this deck. I like it in Doomsday. I think there's probably some other places it might be worth trying, but for the most part, a tap land is really, really problematic. Mana Crypt. That's kind of an interesting one to have in your Rescaminator deck. Don't really feel like that helps you very much. What is that doing in there? Tinker? Show and tell. Ah. No. Demonic Tutor. That's a good one. Time Walk probably is the best. Oh, wait. Does this Yogg-Will win? Does this Yogg-Will win? No. I guess we can just go Sensei's Top then. I guess Yogg-Will is better than Sensei's Top, right? Because we get Black Lotus, Lotus, Mana Crypt, and we could Tinker for a top if we wanted to. Is top actually better than Yogg-Willing here, though? Like, we can just get a top with our Tinker. And we get a bunch more mana. Whatever, I'll just get a Sensei's Top. It's fine. All of these things are going to win the game, so... I mean, top could lose the game. It could just, like, not draw good cards, and then the frog kills us. What was their last card? It was a Black Lotus! They got me! They got me, chat! They didn't have a show and tell target! The bastard. Should we just play this portal? Really make them feel it? I'm gonna do it. My opponent said, "Oh no, now you know I bluffed." And I say for that, your frog dies. Oh, then I have Yogg-Will next turn for the win. Sweet. All right, I'm just gonna pass. And then I will beat you down with your frog. I have a force in hand, chat. I have a force in my hand. All right, your frog is now mine. No, I don't. Shut up and let them play Archon. Fair. I'm going to attack with this frog 18 times. No! Come back, opponent! I wanted to kill you with your frog. All right, not bad. We went 4-1, right? We just lost that one match to Jewel. I mean, I wouldn't say Nadu was a key part of the victory, but it was part of multiple victories. I mean, I think Tinker decks are still fine. Obviously, when you play Tinker against Lurrus Saga, there's some problems there. But the Tinker Citadel is still as good as it's ever been. It is very powerful and it certainly wins games of Magic. So something to consider, I guess, if you are interested in jamming Tinker Citadel instead of playing Lurrus, you can totally still do that. Nadu is fine. I actually kind of like this because the Nadu was just slotted in as a value. It didn't really cost much to put the Nadu in this deck, right? 4 slots. We got some nice Trinket Mage value even outside of getting Shuko. Just getting Needle, getting Haywire Might, getting Sensei's Top are all really strong. Getting Black Lotus to cast Citadel happened multiple times. So I actually thought this deck was pretty sweet. Sad we lost so badly to Jewel in the one round we did lose, but sometimes that happens. Your opponent plays turn 1 Ring, turn 2 Jewel. It's hard to win. But yeah, thank you to Luis Paul for asking to see this deck donated and being willing to let me do some brewing instead of seeing his personal deck list played. This was a fun one. I still think there will be more Nadu videos on this channel because I like Nadu. Nadu is a cool card. It is interesting to play with, and it is hard to really build. So there's a couple other ways I had in mind. We'll see if those come to fruition later on in the month. Cool news is that I have, by the time this airs on YouTube, 1, 2, 3. It'll probably be the weekend before the MTGO Creator Showdown. The MTGO Creator Showdown is back this month, and I am in it again. Last month I played Pauper for the first time in a long time. This month I will be playing Modern, and I will be playing a Modern tournament versus 63 other creators on MTGO. All of it will be streamed, and Nadu will be banned for that tournament. So it'll be an interesting look at a possible post-Nadu metagame. Make sure you tune into that. And if you don't get to tune into that live, it'll, of course, go up on this YouTube channel, like always, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.